Yes, people, welcome back to another stream, and we've got a preview, man. This is a big game, guys. Honestly, this is like top tier level of game, and I'm seriously worried about this, man. You know what I mean? I'm seriously worried about it, guys. Make sure you drop a like on the stream. Loads of stuff to go through. Going to go through predicted 11s as well. Pep Guardiola's been speaking in his press conference. We've had some news on injuries. It ain't looking good, Brev, is all I would say on that one. Make sure you drop a like. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are new, and show Billy, who is joining me today, some love. Billy, bro, thank you very much for joining me. Of course, we do a 12-man podcast on a Monday night for people that don't know. How are you, bro? You all right?
I'm good, man. I'm not too bad, thanks. Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to it.
Thanks for coming on, mate. Thanks for coming on, because honestly, bro, I'm not just saying this because you're here and that, but like, I'm actually genuinely worried about this game. Like, we've not won a game in 3 matches, Premier League. And I'm thinking to myself, this is like one of the hardest places to go. Villa Park, super difficult place to play football right now. I mean, your confidence levels, bro, surely you're getting your chest out today.
Not just yet. No, not just yet. Look, we're the most informed team in Europe at home, I think. Something along those lines anyway. So, yeah, Villa Park's a fortress at the minute. But if anyone's going to come to Villa Park and upset us, then it's going to be a team treble winners, Man City, isn't it? Let's be honest. Yeah, you've got a couple of injuries and whatnot, but it's still going to be a tough game for us. So, yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. Hopefully, from a Villa perspective, we can come away with something. I don't necessarily think we'll win the game. You can never say you're going to win a game against Man City. So, yeah, I just hope we come away with something, hold our heads high, and yeah, hopefully we do come away with the win. But it's such a tough game.
I want to come on to Villa in a little bit more detail in a bit. But what have you made of City this season from what you've watched? What have you made of us?
It's weird because you're the same Man City. You know, you started off the season so well, which you don't normally do, and I think all of us, yourself included, expected you to just continue to brush teams away. But I don't know, it's weird that you're dropping points. I mean, last season, everyone was saying, oh, Haaland's come in, he's kind of disrupted things and whatnot. Obviously, that wasn't the case. But, you know, you're still Man City. You're still the treble winners. You've still got those players. You know, nothing's happened. It's just a little bit of a blip that everyone has. So you'll be fine. I still think you'll win the league come the end of the season. But hopefully we can put another little dent in that tomorrow night.
Nah, it's a madness. I mean, I do think people overreact. I mean, some of the stuff that I've seen from like pundits and that. I mean, they do it every year. Like, have teams found a way to play against Manchester City? And it's like, I swear you tweeted the same shit out last year and the year before that and the year before that. It is a bit of a madness. Like I've been saying on the channel on this channel. I don't know if I said it on yesterday's stream on the podcast, but I don't think like we've actually played that bad in the last few matches. For me personally, I think we played an okay level, a decent level. We probably could have won all 3 games. To be honest with you, it's just that we're not doing small things. You know what I mean? We need to tighten up our defense. Our attack has got to tighten up as well. And obviously midfield. Now, obviously that sounds like a lot, but it's not really. It's not really. Like if Haaland starts scoring and our defenders stop making mistakes, it's not the end of the world. But there are little things that we need to tighten up. Is there anything that you've seen, especially in these 3 games recently, that like you think City are sort of lacking or missing or need to improve on?
I think the main thing really is just those mistakes from defense. As soon as you sort them out, the goals are still going to be there. The goals are still going to come. You just need to cut out those mistakes that you're making at the back, and you will be fine. Like I say, you will be absolutely fine. Those goals are still going to be there unless Haaland gets an injury and something serious kind of happens. Then, you know, we can't speak about that because we don't know what's going to happen, do we? But as long as you cut out those mistakes, Haaland's still going to be there. He's still going to score goals. You've still got everyone else that chips in with a goal every now and then. You know, Alvarez still, you know, you're going to be fine. You'll be fine. It is just those defensive mistakes. But it's City. you'll find a way to come out of it. Pep will make a little change here and there, or do something, or you'll just cut out the mistakes, and you'll be absolutely fine. I've got no worries about City not winning the league or anything like that.
Confidence, man. Confidence levels are high there. Guys, make sure you are hitting the thumbs up button. We've got over 100 people tuned in right now. Let's get those likes past 50 likes, man. We need 9 people. Hit the thumbs up button to get us past 50 likes. I am considering doing an Arsenal watch along. I've got the thumbnail prep, man. Yeah, but we need the likes up. We get the likes up, I'll do the watch along. So hit the thumbs up button and make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well if you are new. Yeah, it's interesting to hear you take that. I mean, I kind of agree with what you're saying, especially with the defense. I've said all season, like, well, I said at the start of the season, now I'm changing my tune, but I'm actually really surprised at the level of defending not being as high as I thought. I genuinely thought at the start of the season that Chelsea record under Mourinho, we could like hunt down. Not saying I didn't have my chest out. I didn't say like we're gonna get it 100%, but I felt like we wouldn't be too far off. Mate, we've absolutely like blitzed that already. Like it's gone. It's gone. We're not even just like over a third of the way through the season, and that record that ain't being beaten. So it is interesting. But if you actually look at the players that are playing, I mean, it's only really Gvardiol that's coming for Ake that's changed. And he's not cost us pure goals. He cost us probably 1 goal, which was against Chelsea. So he's not the reason. I don't know what the reason is. I have to maybe go down to like individual errors, which is, I always say this, but I think this is, individual errors are almost harder to sort of get rid of because Pep can't do anything about it. Pep can't get on the training ground and be like, right, lads, today we're going to work on shape or we're going to work on formation. Because that's not what's cost us. You know, it's not shape, it's not formation that's cost us. It's just crap defending. You know what I mean? So that's a little bit of a concern because that needs to stop. And
I suppose that's where I suppose it's probably his man management then comes in, and you try and I don't know. You say, don't worry about that. Let's focus on this kind of thing. And I don't know. I completely agree with what you're saying. The individual errors are also down to a player's confidence and stuff like that. But like I say, that's where Pep comes in and tries to keep that morale up and high.
Yeah, no, that's probably right, to be honest with you. Let's turn our attention a little bit to Villa, bro. Top 4. Is it on?
Still. I don't see why not. It was disappointing, obviously, against Bournemouth to come away with just a point. However, Villa teams of old would have gone and lost that. We wouldn't have gone and got that goal in the 90th minute to get a point there. We'd have gone on heads down. You know, we hit the post, heads down even further. But something's happening with this Emery Villa. That means that we will go on and get another goal and things like that. We've already seen it a few times where I can't remember the game it was. I mean, there's been a couple of occasions. I think it was the West Ham game, in fact, when we went 2-0 up, they got a goal back and started pushing us back a little bit. Villa teams of old would have caved in. West Ham would have got a second, probably even have gone and got a third. But it was us, in fact, that went down the other end against the run of play at the time, really. Gone and got that third goal. Two goal lead restored, and we go on to win the game. And it's things like that Emery's kind of drilled into Villa that us as Villa fans aren't really used to. It's mad because we are used to seeing teams just heads down, shit, where do we go from here? And you know the famous saying, a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous. And that's the kind of thing where we often lose points. So to see us go 2-1 down, but still carry on, keep going, and get that goal to come away with something, it shows that we're doing something right. Of course, it was, in the grand scheme of things, it is 2 points drops. We can't be losing to or drawing to teams like Bournemouth. If we're wanting to be top 4 and in or around there, they are the kinds of teams that we have to beat. But after the game, I'm not complaining with a point, to be honest with you. It's an annoying one. It's a hard one to take. But like I say, in the grand scheme of things, a point's a point. It's not the worst result in the world. And yeah, we just got to hopefully get something against yourselves on tomorrow night. So
yeah, I think you got a decent chance of getting it, man. Like I said yesterday, I think I'm looking at the top 4 table. In fact, I might bring this up on screen so that everyone can see it. But yeah, if we look at the table here, guys, right, you got to look at the top 4 race. Yeah, you'd imagine that Arsenal, Liverpool, and City will sort of pull away from the other teams at some point. Obviously, not guaranteed, but you'd imagine that. So you're looking at Villa, Tottenham, Newcastle, and let's even throw Man United in there. Personally, I don't think Man United, the way it's going, have got enough this year. I think I mean they're in disaster mode. I mean they're banning all the guys. You know what I mean, from going into the press conferences. I think it's between Aston Villa, Spurs, Newcastle. Now, each of the 3 teams has little pros and cons. So, for example, Tottenham, pros, they got no European football. So obviously they play 1 game a week. That's good for them. Cons, they probably got the smallest squad, I would say, or especially the starting 11 out of those 3. Villa, you probably got the best manager there out of the 3. Unai Emery, for me, is above Eddie Howe. Although Eddie Howe is doing obviously a fantastic job, you've got to say, Emery's slamming it there. Cons, haven't been in this position for a long time. Inexperience, pressure, expectations start to change. Can they handle it? Can Aston Villa handle it? That's something that they've got to deal with. Newcastle, well, I mean, they've got a few things going on at the moment. Got no players is an obvious one for a con. Pros, they were there last year. They know what it takes. They won't. I don't think they'll be worried right now about being 3 points behind Aston Villa. But they've got a lot of games.
The fact that they are 3 points behind us with the amount of injuries that they've got as well is quite something, to be fair.
Yeah, and I don't know if you heard, was it Dan Burn? I seen an interview from Dan Burn who basically said in that last international break, he went and spent time with his family, and he said he felt that mentally drained. He felt like he'd already played a full season because they played so many games and the intensity of the games was so high. Now, they're doing all right. They're getting away with it at the moment, Newcastle, and they're doing really, really well. But I just think because they've had such a hard start to the season with that Champions League group, and obviously it's still going, they've got 1 more game that they need to win. Will that at some point take its toll? Maybe this month, January, February, or later on in the season? Who knows? You know what I mean? That could be something. But I think you've got a decent chance, man. I think the only thing that stops it for me is the fact that you've not been there for a while. And
I get what you're saying, and I do agree with you, but I think this is where the experience of the players, because some of the players that will have been there, not necessarily in the Premier League, but your Pau Torreses, for example, your Moussa Diabis in their leagues previously, they're going to have played Europe. They're going to have been up there competing for titles, for cups, that kind of thing. And Emery as well, putting his experiences of being an elite level manager onto the players. So I get what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying, but I also think there's that kind of little caveat, if you like, to that as well. You know, it's Emery's job. It's the experienced players in similar positions job to put their experiences and know-how into the lesser experienced players. So it's going to be interesting to see how we handle it throughout the season. I like the way that Emery's kind of attacking it in saying every game is an opportunity for 3 points, and that's it. Every game,
has he
City,
been asked about Champions
whoever.
League, bro? Has he been asked about the Champions League and like
he has, yeah, and he keeps on downplaying it. He keeps on saying we're not really there. We're not, or not saying we're not really there, but he's saying that we're not contenders for it. Let's say that kind of thing. But I think in the back of his mind, he's probably thinking, yeah, absolutely, we're there. I think he's just trying to take the pressure off the players a little bit, because we saw at the back end of last season when we started to the murmurings of, oh, we could possibly get Europe or Europa League or Champions League maybe. All of a sudden, it seemed like the players started to feel a little bit of the pressure, and the performances kind of showed that we dropped a level a little bit. Thankfully, we managed to get Europe in the end. But so that's what I think Emery's kind of doing. But the way that he kind of put it in his press conference today was every game is an opportunity for 3 points, and that's all that matters. And whatever happens at the end of the season happens at the end of the season. Wherever we are, we are. Whatever happens, happens. So let's just take it game by game.
Yeah. I always feel like I don't know how I'd play it if I was a manager, because the problem is with playing it down is that when you get later on in the season, everyone's sort of like, oh, well, we didn't expect to be here. You know what I mean? Because you've been playing it down all season. But
I think, to be honest with you, I think within the group, they all know that there's an opportunity there.
Oh,
a
yeah,
real
true.
good opportunity there. And they're going to be probably talking about it kind of within themselves. Like at the beginning of the season, that goal of whatever it was, each team's obviously got a goal that they go for. How we've started and where we are at the minute, that goal may have all of a sudden changed, that kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, well, it has to change.
I don't necessarily think that will be a thing. Maybe in the media, it could a little bit of pressure could come from there, but I think within the group, they're so close and tight knit that I'm hopefully at least it wouldn't really affect them.
Yeah, I always say this, man, and it does me when people disagree, but like, I guess people can have their own opinions. Like, expectations have to change, as the season goes on. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't just have. Obviously, like, you can still have the goal from the beginning of the season, and in the end, like, you can take a more holistic view and go, okay, well, this was the goal at the start of the season. Where are we at the end of the season? But surely, like, you have updated objectives. So, for example, if I'm a car salesman, right, and I have a monthly target to sell 5 cars, right, and I sell all 5 cars in the first 3 days of the month, my manager ain't gonna go off. You can go off now for the rest of the month. They're not. You hit your target now. You can go for the rest of the month. That's no. They're going to say, oh, we need to, like, great job. You hit your goals. Now what we're going to do is
now change. Go for 10.
Yeah, we're gonna up that to get to 10. And listen, you might not get to 10 by the end of the season, by the end of the month. Yeah, but we'll have a look and we'll see. And at the end of the month, we'll talk about the performance. And if you didn't hit 10, well, how come you didn't hit 10 when you hit 3 in the first few days? GG's on getting the 3 in the first. But you can't just sit there on 3 sales and just chill out for the rest of the 27 days in a month. Well, that's not how it works. So, I think that expectations have to change. And for me right now, my expectations or my goals for Aston Villa would be Champions League. And I don't see why that can't be a goal. And like I say, it's not if you don't get it, Emery out, shocking end to the season. Yeah. It's just like, okay, well, how can we manage to get in that position? If say you sustain it until March, if you get there till March, and how come we didn't sustain it until the end of the season? And then you can work on that. But I think I want you to speak on Emery actually, bro, because he's a fantastic manager. He really, really is. And I've seen some of the comments and debates you've had in the chat about whether or not he'd potentially leave Aston Villa for a bigger club or whatever. And I've seen you defend your club here and say you don't think he would leave Aston Villa. Because obviously it's a project. What's your sort of take on Emery as your manager? And like, do you think he would ever be interested in leaving, or do you think he's sort of got everything he wants?
To say would he ever be interested in leaving? I think there's a few clubs in the world that sometimes it's hard to just turn them down like that at the click of a finger. However, you look at the clubs that are there probably looking for managers at the minute, and I don't think what they could offer him necessarily outweighs what he's got at the minute. You know, he's got all he's ever wanted as a manager. He's got investment. He's got the keys to the castle to completely do what he wants. He can bring in the players that he wants. He can bring in the staff that he wants. He can bring in. It's his little bubble, and what he's doing with his little bubble, the relationship that he's got with the owners is fantastic. Like Man City, you've got the City group of football clubs. Villa is starting to branch out a few now with V Sports, it's called, and so we've got Vitória Guimarães in Portugal. We've got Vitesse Kobe in Japan as well, who've just won the league. We've got a couple of other clubs in Egypt. But just a couple of weeks ago, we actually invested into Unai Emery's club, Real Union, in Spain as well. So that's a club that him and his brother own, kind of bringing the Emery collaboration, as our owner called it, making that even stronger. So I don't think he's going to be going anywhere anytime soon. And he said it himself. He's loving it at Villa at the minute. And he said, hopefully, he can stay here for many more years. And with how he's doing at the minute, hopefully he can. And if he does, it means that we're heading in the right direction. We're winning trophies and things like that. We're fighting at the top of the table. So as long as it continues, I'm all for it. I absolutely love him, what he's doing, how he's changed everything at Villa, the way that the Villa Park feels, the way the fans are, the connection with the club, the players. You know, every press conference after the game, he's saying, like, we want to connect with the supporters. We always want to connect with the supporters, whether we're home or away. We want to connect with them. And he's doing that. So far, so good, at least. Hopefully, you know, we'll see where it takes us. But yeah, I absolutely love him. And getting back to the original question, I don't think there's many teams in the world that can offer him what he can. And like I said at the beginning, just there, those bigger clubs that are harder to turn down, probably Real Madrid, for example, are they going to give him the freedom to do what he wants at that club? You know, is he going to be able to bring in who he wants behind the scenes, in terms of football presidents, etc.? You know what I mean? He's not going to, you know, these bigger clubs, people say, well, a club like Aston Villa's probably his level. You know, you look Villarreal, Sevilla, he's all done well, but at an Arsenal, at PSG, he's not necessarily done amazingly. Personally, I'd probably disagree with that statement if you really look at what he's done there. But at bigger clubs as well, you've got more egos behind the scenes with the day-to-day ongoings of the football club. So it's one of them. I think he's happy. I can't see him leaving anytime soon. And that's not me saying that I don't think he's going to leave anytime soon necessarily. I'd just be very surprised if he was to leave.
Yeah, no, I think honestly, I think he's a top coach. Guys, I want to know your comments on this, by the way. Unai Emery. Where do you rank Unai Emery? Yeah, I want to know from you guys in the chat. Where do you rank Unai Emery in terms of like top tier managers? Like, obviously, you've got your Harley. We couldn't come on to that in a second, bro. You're just in time. You've got your Peps, your Klopps, your Ancelottis, Zidanes. Where does Emery rank here? Is he up there? Is he a level below? Guys, get me your comments in the chat. I'm really interested to know what you guys think on this one. But if we bring up Emery's, and we are going to go through the tactics and go through team lineups in a second, guys, on the tactical pad. I mean, look at his one, man. He won 3 Europa Leagues with Seville. That's fantastic. And he won it 3 times in a row? Three in a row. That's pretty mad, that, isn't it? Really, that's pretty sick. PSG, he won a Ligue 1. 2 Coupe de France's, 2 Coupe de Ligues, and 2 Trophy des Champions. And then he also got runner-up in the Europa League with Arsenal. Obviously, that was when they played Chelsea, won it.
Yeah, and, I think so in Baku.
Yeah, and then Villarreal, he also won it then, didn't he, as well, in that famous win. And obviously, he's got all the individual honours. I think he's a top manager, man. I think he does get respect because I've seen loads of people talking about how the fact he's his third best manager in the league. I just don't think he gets spoke about as much as like a De Zerbi, because De Zerbi plays De Zerbi ball, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" And you know, Pep creams over De Zerbi, doesn't he? He's like, "Oh my god, mate! Like De Zerbi ball, he plays the best football in Europe or whatever." Like, great, but Yeah, I mean, Aston Villa are 4th and Brighton at 8th. Yeah, I mean, so that's probably why he probably plays. Not that he plays bad football, but he doesn't play that sort of like ultra modern football like De Zerbi's bringing. That's the thing. Big up to Chicken Wing, by the way, with a super chat. It says, if we win against Villa, City will be on top in January. Well, bro, for me, we got to win this game, man. Honestly, Chicken Wing, mate. We got to win. Not that I have any confidence at all. I mean, how can I have mega confidence when we've drawn 3 games in a row and, defending not great and not finishing our dinner? Or not finishing our dinner, because we are scoring goals, but we're not putting games to bed, should I say. That's the better way to sort of word it. So we'll have to wait and see, obviously, but I ain't that confident. But I want to get into I want to get into the tactical pad. You guys love this part of the show. We'll go through predicted 11s. We'll talk tactics. Yeah, we'll talk tactics. By the way, guys, make sure you do drop a like on the stream if you've not done so already. Yeah, get those likes up for me. I have decided I will be doing an Arsenal watch along. So we'll start that in about 25 minutes or so. So, guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel, and join me after this for an Arsenal watch along. The way I usually do it, Billy, is if you give me your back 4, including goalkeeper, speak about that, then I'll go my back 4, your midfield, my midfield, and we'll work it like that. So, why don't you talk me through Aston Villa's defence, your predicted defence for tomorrow, bro?
So I think it's Martinez in goal is the obvious one. I think he'll be very, very surprised unless there's been a last-minute injury. I think we'll probably have Konza at right back, Carlos, Pau Torres, and I still think it will be Luke Dean at left back, although I also wouldn't be too surprised if Alex Moreno was to join in or to come in at some point. I just think it's probably a game or two too early for him to start, at least, especially against Man City. So that's what I think the back 4 will be. Obviously, Konza could be put back into right centre back, and Cash could come in. However, against a team like Man City, I think we're probably going to want to be more defensive, if you know what I mean.
I got a question for you. How good has Konza been this year? I've seen on the squad stats that he's your most played player by minutes played this season. I've seen links apparently to Liverpool and a couple of other big clubs. Is he that good?
Yeah. He is quality, like top quality. I don't know if you saw his tackle against Brighton at the weekend. I can't remember who it was. 1-on-1 recovery challenge, just phenomenal. He's, in my opinion, and I'm saying this on a City channel, so I'm gonna get some. Don't say hate for it, probably. But in my opinion, he's England's best centre back.
Oh, you just have to say it, bro.
Just my opinion.
Why you got to say that, man? He was going so well.
A League 2 player has never wanted to play against Ezri Konsa every week. That's all I'm saying.
That is a shocker. Chat, come on, man. You got to give him some stick for the eyes. Right, okay. Please. So you rate him highly then. Have you got him signed down to a big deal?
We do. Yes. We've got him. So he's only recently as well. So yeah, I don't know how long off the top of my head, but it's a long-term contract. Yeah. So if you want him, you're going to have to pay mega bucks for him.
I won't be paying him with your money. Right. Let's go on to City's back line. Oh, well, this is a bit of a dodgy deals, guys. Dodgy deals, man. Dodgy deals because I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Okay, so situation update. Apparently, John Stones is okay. Yeah, FPL Man City, who knows what he's talking about, has leaks, says that John Stones is available, right? That's positive news. So, John Stones has to play this game. I mean, I would have started him in the last game, as I told you guys, but Pep didn't do that. Well, let's start with the goalkeeper anyway. Ederson, hopefully, hopefully doesn't make a mistake. I mean, he's been very good this season. Unfortunately, he's just made 2 errors leading to goals in 2 games that we've dropped points, which isn't unfortunate, but he's been good other than that. Do I play Walker? I mean, John Stones is back in, so maybe. John Stones plays. Let's just get him in there. Diaz plays, so he'll get in there. Ake plays, in my opinion, not Gvardiol. Not that Gvardiol's done much wrong, guys. I actually think Gvardiol's been really good this year. I don't know where people are saying. I don't get why a lot of people are starting to get on Gvardiol. I don't really get what people are saying. But I just want to go for, because we're being defensive mistakes, I want to go for who's my best defender at actual defending. And so far, I've not seen enough of Gvardiol to prove that he's better than Ake. So I'm going to go Ake. The big question here for me, guys. Yeah, big question. Is it Manuel Akanji right back? Right, which he has played a few times last year. And in fact, if I check the transfer mark data from last year, I can find out how many times he did play right back. He played right back last year, Manuel Akanji, 3 times. So it's not a great deal, but he played it. He played it against Leipzig. We won 7-0. He played it against Southampton. We won 4-0. And he played it against Brighton. We won 3-1. So small sample sizes, but decent result. The only thing that I would say, and the reason I like getting Akanji in here is because he's better on the ball than Walker. Walker was poor for me for the final goal against Spurs. But now that John Stones is back into the team, I would probably favour Walker. But let it be known, the only reason I'm playing Walker here, not Akanji, is because John Stones is in the team. If John Stones wasn't in the team, I'm dropping Walker for Akanji because I need a better ball player centre back, and Walker just really frustrated me against Spurs. So Walker does get in, but it's by the skin of his teeth for me. So I like that. It's a solid back four. So back four that we utilised a lot last year. It won us the treble. And finally, we can get John Stones getting back into that midfield and try and get us that extra man. So that's going to be my back four. Just. Okay. Let's go back to Villa. Midfield, bro.
Midfield, I think this is a fairly simple one to predict. John McGinn will be on the right. Douglas Luiz and Boubacar Kamara will be in the middle.
Sorry, is that like right mid or like
right mid? Yeah,
right mid. Okay, yeah. Sorry, right, what was in the middle?
Douglas Luiz and Boubacar Kamara.
Do I have Kamara? Yeah, I do. There we go.
Yeah. And then Tielemans as well on the left.
So he'll play like what, left mid or something?
Yeah, so what tends to happen is Kamara kind of drops as like a number 6 at times.
Like that, yeah.
Luiz is given a little bit of freedom to ping passes, pick the ball up from the defence, drive forward. And when we're in possession, you'll often see McGinn and Tielemans come into the middle as kind of like number 10s, essentially.
So is it almost a bit like this?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much.
That's how it is. Okay.
Much, yeah.
Okay. So obviously we could speak about tactics in a minute, but does Villa typically try and stop teams from coming in this sort of area? I mean, every team does that, but do you specifically almost try and stop that, pack out the midfield?
I suppose we do in a way, yeah. But this is how you've got it up on screen. There is more when we're on the ball. That's when McGinn and Tielemans come inside and offer themselves in little pockets to drive forward, to pick out passes, that kind of thing, if you know what I'm trying to say. It's hard. It's kind of hard to explain if you're not watching it.
No, and I also recognize that like teams have different shapes on the ball / off the ball.
And when we're off the ball, Tielemans and McGinn all drop to assist Digne and Konza as well.
Right, cool. Okay, cool. Sava's in the chat, is he? Where the fuck is he? Is Sava in the chat? People are saying big up Sava, but I can't see him in the chat. Maybe that's weird. I don't know, but apparently Sava's here. So big up Sava, but I can't see you in the chat, mate. So he raided. Right, fair enough. I tell you what they need to do. Yeah, I say this all the time. Right, they need to put it on the screen, man. You know what I mean? Because I can never see it on the screen. So I'm always like, people are like, what the hell's going on? I never really get it. Right, big up to Football Heritage TV, man, for the raid. Appreciate the raid. Thank you, lads. Perchy, big up Sava, big up Perchy, man. Big up, lads. Okay, cool. So that's your midfield. Sweet. Because Cool. Okay, so we'll come to your attack in a minute. Oh, God, guys, midfield. I mean, do we have any players, man? Do we have any players? Do we have any players? Not available. Not good enough. Suspended. Not really good enough to start. Ill. Suspended. Bruh.
I reckon Grealish got that booking on purpose, you know.
Mate, what is he doing? Like, getting that booking was so bad. Right, okay. Let me think about this, bro. Let me think about this. So, we got no Rodri. Calvin Phillips ain't playing, mate. There ain't no way. Now I know he was asked today, right? I mean, I'll bring up the quote, actually. Pep Guardiola. Nah, there ain't no way, man. There ain't no way Pep Guardiola's playing Calvin Phillips tomorrow. He was asked about it, and he gave a positive response. But surely
positive response for fans or for Phillips?
for Phillips, yeah. But for most fans, it would be a negative response.
Right,
With all due respect, it's like no one really wants him to play. Like, not in a nasty way. People just don't think he's very good. So this is what he said. Pep Guardiola has said there's a chance, that Calvin Phillips will play against Aston Villa. Now, how much is that chance? We don't know. It could be 0.00001% chance. It could be 100. We don't actually know how big the chance is. But guys, I'm going to tell you this. I don't see a chance, mate. I don't see a chance that he plays. So I'm going to go for my midfield as... Bring it back up on screen. There we go. I'm going to go for my midfield. Big up to Football Heritage, guys, again. Big up to them, guys. Right, okay. Man. Is Nunes available or what? Like, bro, like, serious, man. Do I have any players? Nunes, is he available? Does anyone know about Nunes? Did he train? Matthias Nunes. I've been out all day, man, so I've not even seen any news on it.
Does Rico Lewis get a start?
Quite probably. Nunes is a no. Fucking hell. Right, okay. Let me just get some players on the pitch, right? Kovacic, Rico Lewis. And it's probably going to be... Wait, that's grim, that. Kovacic, Alvarez, Rico Lewis, I think is what we need to do. Well, not really.
Midfield through.
Yeah, mate. That is not good, mate. That is not a good midfield. I'm telling you that now. Again, not in a bad way, mate. Not slagging people off. It's just like, bro, Kovacic hasn't even played CDM for us this year. And he's been pretty weird, annoyingly. Like, yeah, true. Stones will invert, so we'll have that, that makes it a lot better. To be fair, that makes it, that is like a 5 out of 10. That puts it up to like maybe a 6.5. So let's put it like that, because that's how you're going to play. It's not great. But yeah, man, I'd play Rico Lewis all day long. Mate. So, have you seen much of Rico Lewis?
Bits, yeah, and I've been impressed. I've been really impressed. I think he's a top quality player with a lot of potential as well to improve.
Pep's thrown him in at the deep end as well, you know.
Big time.
Put him in the Champions League, Leipzig away, against Arsenal away.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's actually like pretty mad. Like some of the games he started, but yeah, he's been really, really good. He's pretty good on the ball as well. So yeah, I think that's probably going to be the midfield, which is kind of a madness, but it is what it is. Okay, let's go on to the Villa attacking lineup then, Bray. What are you saying with the Villa attacking line?
Pretty simple. Ollie Watkins and Moussa Diaby playing behind, try and get him behind that Man City defense, laying balls off to each other. The combinations that they've been that they've had together recently is
Will it be like that?
They'd be closer together, more as if it's like a proper traditional 4-4-2. Watkins on the left, Diaby on the right. But yeah, Diaby will kind of come in every now and then to pick up a ball and stuff like that.
Right. Okay. Interesting. That's seriously interesting. All right, okay. Yeah, I guess probably Diaby's. Do you get like a bit of a free roll? I like that Diaby, man. He looks
Exactly.
like a
Yeah.
good player. He looks like a good player.
He's been very, very good. I'm just hoping that he will start to score a few more goals. He's been good. He's picked up the odd one or two. I just hope that he can start to get a few more under his belt, because at the minute it's very much relying on Watkins for a lot of the goals. So hopefully Diaby can start to take a little bit of that burden off Watkins.
Okay, interesting. City lineup kind of picks itself. If that is the midfield he goes with, it'll be Phil Foden on the left because Grealish is suspended, and Doku apparently is going to be fit enough to make the bench but won't start the game if you believe FPL Main Road. Bernardo, I would play him out on the right hand side, and Haaland, the man who you could consider a little bit lucky, maybe not to get a ban. Some people saying it's lucky, some people saying nah, get over it, grow up.
Disgrace that he's not banned.
But yeah,
just the one game ban would have done me.
I know, yeah, but it would have done. Yeah, now that is that they are predicted 11s. I mean, key battles here. I mean, where would you say your weakest point is here? From a City point of view, like we're looking at this and say, where can City get at Villa? What would you say is like your weakest point, even if it's still quite strong?
I'd probably say our weakest point is the possibility of Haaland against Torres in terms of physicality, because there's only ever going to be one winner in that battle. That's probably as well why I would have Carlos in there as well, because he's a big, strong unit. I think the trickery as well of Bernardo Silva against Luka Dean is going to be a problem. I don't necessarily think that'll be the case against Konza for Foden, just purely because of how good Konza is as a 1v1 defender. Don't get me wrong, I think he'll probably get Foden will probably get the better of him a few times, but Ezri Konza is a top defender, and his 1v1 like rate, if you like, has been very, very good this season. And I think the midfield battle, just in general, will probably win the game for one of the teams. And yeah, hopefully further up the pitch, if and when we get chances in a game like this, you always have to take them. You have to take them in the Premier League anyway, but against a team like Man City, you have to take them. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking, really.
Okay. Tinsay with a super chat says 3-2, 3-2. 3-2. 3-2. Stones, Rodri. Oh, yeah. Rodri's not available, though, bro, innit? Rodri's suspended, lad. Mate, that's your, like, preferred formation later on in the season when Kevin De Bruyne's back. Okay, cool. Yeah, you had me a little bit gassed then for a second, bro, that Rodri and Kevin De Bruyne was available. And I probably had Billy a little bit worried, but yeah. Yeah, mate, when Kevin De Bruyne comes back, it's different. It's a different game. But right now, we're just dealing with this. Yeah, okay, interesting. I mean, I hear what you're saying. I don't know, man. Honestly, like, we've got a couple of problems here. So, for me, obviously, Kovacic, really frustrating player, man, because we signed him. When we signed him, I thought, great signing, man. 25 million quid, plenty of experience.
Smart signing.
It was meant to be a rotational player. It was meant to be like, I don't know who your equivalent will be, but someone on the bench who can come in off the bench for the last 15 minutes or start some, lower games or fill in for a couple of games. Someone gets suspended. He didn't. He actually started quite well. His first couple of games, he was doing all right. And then, bro, overnight, he almost just like fell off a cliff. I don't really know what happened there. So that for me is a big one. He needs to have a good game. He needs to have a good game tomorrow. And another player that needs to have a good game is this man, Julian Alvarez. He's coming under a bit of pressure, but not really his fault because he's been played out of position.
Right.
So he's not a centre mid. He's not an attacking mid. He's a striker that's playing in the midfield position, and he's doing a decent job. Doing a decent job in terms of like he's done probably better than everyone else expected. But now we're not winning. We're really starting to notice that it's not really working out. He ain't really creating too much. He's not getting on the score sheet as much as he was at the start of the season. So I'm hoping that he can pick it up. Foden on the left, for me, that's probably his worst position, but hopefully he can do well. One thing that I do like is this here, guys. Bernardo Silva, back on the right wing, hopefully. That's his best position. in my opinion. Maybe in the massive games against Liverpool, but Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, middle he can play. But he played on the right wing last year in the Champions League. Cooked players, absolutely fantastic. And I'd get him back out on there.
We may even see if that's the case and Bernardo starts on the right, we may even see McGinn and Tielemans swap round. So McGinn's there to help out a little bit more defensively. He's a little bit quicker as well than Tielemans, so he can probably adjust quicker, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's that Bernardo Luca Dean matchup. Sorry, is a potential mismatch, and somewhere I'm worrying. Bernardo Silva always tends to have a good game against us anyway. So,
what about where do you look at our team as a Villa fan? Where do you look at our team and go, we can get at that? Is it the midfield? Is it maybe the defense with how we've been defending recently? What do you reckon?
I think the midfield from a Villa perspective looks a little bit tasty with how you don't really have an anchor in there. You've got as good as Stones is on the ball, he's not an actual midfielder. Kovacic, as you've mentioned, has fallen off the edge of the cliff. So you say. I'm not 100% sure on that myself from what I've seen, but I'm obviously going to take your word for it. Rico Lewis playing slightly out of position as far as I'm aware, not an out-and-out centre mid, and obviously Alvarez as well. So we've got such a strong midfield potentially there, and from what we've shown in games so far, that midfield battle, I believe that we can, and hopefully we will, come out on top. I also like the Watkins and Diaby possibly getting in behind with those spaces that they're kind of in at the minute. And Watkins has got a decent record against top six teams. So
what's his record against City?
I don't know, but he's scored a couple of decent goals against you, I think. Scored one last season at the Etihad, I know for certain.
Okay, this record is 6 games. He's won none, drawn 1, lost 5. That's great. But he scored 2 and assisted 2. So 4 goal involvements in 6 games. Interesting.
So hopefully he can make that at least 5.
I mean, his personal record isn't the worst in the world. 4 GMA against City.
That's kind of what I was pointed to. I mean, Villa have got an awful record against City anyway, really. So,
what is our record against you guys?
I dread to even imagine. Particularly recently, I can't remember the last time we beat you.
Overall record, Villa have won 57, City have won 80, and we've drawn 42.
Yeah, so
recent history.
One way.
What the hell, Bray? Oh my god, bro, your record stinks. Do you want to see the record?
I don't know. No, I know that it stinks. I know that it stinks.
Bro, check this out, man. No
it's not
win.
Looking good, is it?
No
last
win
time, 2013. What was that? Andy Vyman's last-minute goal against you? Was it last-minute goal?
75th minute, yeah. 75th minute.
Still.
We scored. You scored. We scored. You scored. You scored. You scored 2 goals in 2 minutes, mate.
Yeah.
What the hell?
That game. I remember that game. I was there.
Yeah, that's a bit of a madness. Your record's stinky, bro. That means tomorrow you're gonna get some mad result, because that's a hell of jinx. That's a big jinx, man. Oh, I didn't want to see that, to be honest with you. Yeah, listen, I'm not really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it in the sense that it's a big game, and it's gonna be, I think for the neutral, it's gonna be exciting. But Bray, honestly, I'm not mad confident about tomorrow. The only good thing I would say to people is, even if City, say we got a point tomorrow and Arsenal win tonight, which they probably will, we're drawn 4 games in a row. We lost 2 on the bounce a month ago, and we're only 5 points behind Arsenal. So when you put it like that, it doesn't really sound that bad. But we need to fix up rapid, and tomorrow's going to be a difficult one. Score prediction, bro. What you saying?
I'm not confident. Or overly confident. I certainly think we can win. I think we can certainly get a point as well. Chances are we probably won't, because it's still Man City. It's still that horrendous record that we've got. But then again, if anyone's going to break a record, it's going to be Unai Emery. He's broken God knows how many since coming to Villa. So, but it's hard, because I'd love to see us go on and get 3 points, but you know, I'd be over the moon with a point at the same time. So I'm gonna go. I don't know. Let's go for 2-2. I think there's going to be goals in the game. I don't think it's going to be a boring game by any stretch. Yeah, let's go for a 2-2.
Apparently, Emery's never beaten Pep. Is that true?
That is true. Yeah, that is true. Unfortunately. So yeah, the records aren't looking great for us, are they?
Yeah, he's played 13 times. To be fair, he's drawn 4 of those. It's not all bad. Yeah, and since he's been in the Premier League, he's lost 3 out of 3. So okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what my score prediction is going to be. To be honest with you, like, I don't know, mate. I don't know. Like, I just don't know. I just have no idea. I'm just like praying, mate, that we get the win, but I can't come with chest. And thought this is the first time in a long time that I've not come to a prediction with chest, because I cannot come with chest, man. It would be arrogance for me to come with chest the way we're not finishing the games off. But I think even with that team that I put up on screen, even with the team, even though it's obviously not ideal with that midfield, there's still more. I'm sure you'd agree as well. There's still more than enough with Foden, Haaland, Bernardo, Alvarez, Rico. Like, even though it's not ideal, it's still well more than enough to get the win. And the defense is fine. It's just that midfield. What does this midfield do? Are they good enough? Are they going to be able to good enough to win this battle against a very, very good Aston Villa midfield? Will we keep making defensive mistakes, and will we put our chances away?
This is the thing. I think for us to come away with a win, we have to be at 110%. You guys have to be at 70, 80 max. You know, we have to really take our chances. You know, we have to be on it from the first second. We can't make any mistakes. It's such a hard game, because any mistake that we do make, you've got top quality players that are going to capitalize it. And I know it's cliche, but it goes for the whole of the Premier League, but especially against teams like Man City, your Arsenals, your Liverpools. These are such big games. And for a team up there who wants to be competing regularly, we can't be making mistakes, full stop. We cannot certainly be making mistakes in these big games. So, yeah, it's one of them. Like I say, I think we can get something. It's just going to be very, very hard for us to do so. And for that reason, therefore, unlikely to do so as well. But I've got my fingers crossed that we can get something. Like we said, Villa Park's a very hard place to come to at the minute. And hopefully we can keep that. Make it 14 successive home wins in the Premier League.
That's a little bit of a mad record that you got going there, isn't it? It's pretty
for a team like Aston Villa. It feels surreal, to be honest with you, at the minute. To just the whole situation that we're in, and records like that. Yeah, it's just mad. The fact that we've not lost in the league at home for 13 successive games is mad. It's mad for any team, but for a team like us, like I say, you know, hopefully this can become a regular thing and we can make Villa Park a real fortress, like Newcastle are making St James's Park, for example, like Anfield is with Liverpool. We want it to be a horrible place to come for away teams, and so far since Emery's come in, it's kind of looking that way. So
I think it will. I think you're going in the right direction. You're not going crazy. I mean, I'm looking at the transfers. You only spent 93 million euros this year, 100 million euros last year, 130 million euros the year before. So it's not like you're going out spending absolutely wild amounts of cash, but your team's getting better and better.
A good squad as well.
Yeah, of course you do. Absolutely. I mean, the Tielemans signing in the summer was a great signing on a free transfer. You know, I know there's a lot of people that doubted that. But on a free transfer now, I mean, you look at sort of a team like Newcastle, you know, And this is what I always say. It's those sort of signings that you get in that no one really speaks about that often are crucial to how the season goes. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. But, bro, appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you
Pleasure, mate. Thank you for having me.
No, so are you doing the Screamers podcast still? Oh, what's going on there?
It's yeah.
Siesta.
I mean,
On a siesta, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's hard for us to all kind of come together at one point in the week at the minute. So we're still chatting to each other and stuff like that. It's still a thing, but we just need to come down and kind of make a plan. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But at the minute, nothing's really going on. So
just what it is, isn't it? Okay.
Exactly.
Well,
you can see me on the 12th man anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, guys. Me and Billy are on the 12th man Monday nights, usually 8 p.m. for the Race for Europe show. It's usually a pretty good show. So yeah, make sure you join us for that one, guys. I'm going to go live now. Straight away after this, stream will redirect you. We are going to be doing a live pray along. It is Luton Town versus Arsenal Football Club. Can Luton get us a result? We'll find out in a few moments. See you in a bit.